There are moments in life when silence is not strength, it's surrender. When staying quiet doesn't make you stoic, it makes you invisible. And in those moments, you must rise. Never stay silent in these situations. There's a quiet courage in speaking truth, in holding your ground. That's what this life demands of us, to face the darkness, not cower from it. This is where true power lies, not in brute force, but in the unwavering spirit of a Stoic. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Simple words, but heavy with meaning. Because when something is clearly wrong and you stay silent, you are no longer innocent. You become complicit. You become part of the problem. We've all been there. Seen something we wish we hadn't. Felt the urge to look away, to stay silent for an easy life. But a Stoic, he doesn't shy away from what's right. He faces it head on, with courage in his heart and steel in his gaze. This doesn't mean picking a fight every time the wind blows. It's about choosing your battles, knowing when to stand your ground. Speak, not with rage, but with reason. That is the Stoic way. Let your voice be a weapon against injustice, not a shield for it. A Stoic man doesn't explode, but he doesn't shrink either. He stands his ground, he knows his worth, and he doesn't apologize for it. Silence in the face of disrespect, it's dangerous. It teaches people they can ignore your limits, walk all over you like you're nothing but dirt. Seneca, that wise old Stoic, he taught that you must respect yourself before expecting others to do the same. And respect, it's a two-way street. If someone's crossing your lines, you have a right to speak up. Say your truth, say it once, say it with strength. Don't let them think they can take your silence for weakness. You are a force to be reckoned with. Never forget that. Charm can be a dangerous weapon. It can lull you into a false sense of security, make you think you're in control when you're really just a puppet dancing on someone else's strings. Guilt, too, can be a weapon, used to break your will, to make you doubt yourself and your instincts. When charm becomes a cage, when guilt becomes a weapon, silence becomes your prison. But Stoics, we don't fall for illusion. We see through the smoke and mirrors to the truth beneath. Epictetus warned, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. And embodiment, it begins with awareness and a clear, resounding no. Don't be afraid to say it. Don't be afraid to walk away from anyone or anything that diminishes you. Chapter 4. When you witness cruelty. The world can be a cruel place, we all know that. But what separates the men from the boys, the sheep from the wolves, is what you do when you see that cruelty unfolding. Do you turn a blind eye, pretend you didn't see anything? Or do you stand up and say, enough? Even if it doesn't affect you directly, even if it's happening behind closed doors, a Stoic speaks. Not to save the world, but to stay true to his own values, to remain just. Because virtue doesn't hide in the shadows. It shines brightest in the darkness. Be a beacon of light in a world that's grown too accustomed to the shadows. Chapter 5. When your integrity is questioned. There's a silence that sounds like guilt. Don't confuse it with humility. If your name is being dragged through the mud, if your character is being assassinated, you have every right to defend yourself. Stand tall, not with anger, but with clarity. Aurelius reminded us, the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury, but that doesn't mean silence. It means strength, spoken with precision, with dignity. Let your actions speak louder than words, but don't be afraid to use your words when you need to. Set the record straight. Defend your honor. Don't let the whispers turn into shouts. Chapter 6. When your heart knows you're holding back. We've all been there. Swallowed our words when we should have spoken up. Let someone walk all over us because we were too afraid to stand our ground. But regret, it has a voice. It whispers the words you could have said, the things you should have done. A Stoic doesn't speak for validation. He doesn't need anyone's approval but his own. But when his soul is screaming, when his heart is heavy with unspoken truths, he listens. He doesn't shy away from the difficult conversations, the uncomfortable truths. Sometimes the strongest thing you can say is, "This matters to me." Don't let silence bury your truth. Let it out. Let it breathe. Chapter 7. When the world needs a voice of reason. The world is a noisy place, full of shouting, of anger, of fear. It's easy to get swept up in the chaos, to lose yourself in the noise. But the Stoic, he stands apart. He is a rock in the storm, a beacon in the darkness. Seneca wrote, "The wise man is not silent, he is just not loud. His voice is calm, clear, grounded. A voice of reason in a world that's lost its mind. Don't be silent when wisdom is needed most. Be the fire that doesn't burn but reveals. Be the voice that cuts through the noise and speaks truth to power." Silence is not always golden. Sometimes it's betrayal of yourself, of others, of the moment. So speak, not to echo the noise, but to become the voice of reason, the voice of a true Stoic. The world needs your voice. Don't be afraid to use it. Subscribe to AREV. Become the man who doesn't stay silent when it matters most.